Welcome to the deep dive. So let's talk about something I know resonates with a lot of you listening. You're doing the work, right? I mean, all the work.
Oh, yeah.
You've got the affirmations going, maybe on repeat. The vision board is like perfectly arranged. You're scripting, journaling, doing the mental rehearsals every single morning.
Ticking all the boxes.
Exactly. And yet, somehow, that reality you're aiming for, it just feels, well, still out of reach.
It's incredibly frustrating, that feeling of exhaustion, like, what am I missing? There must be some secret technique I haven't found yet. That's probably one of the biggest hurdles we hear about.
It really is.
And it's that classic manifestation trap, isn't it? You mistake all that effort for actual creation.
Right.
And that's really the heart of what we want to get into in this deep dive, drawing from that Abundance blog series. The mission today, really, is to unpack why the missing piece isn't another technique. It's not about more doing. It's about something much more fundamental. It's about who you are being.
Who you are being. Okay, let's unpack that, because that core shift, it kind of flips the usual script, doesn't it?
Completely.
We're so conditioned, I think, to believe we need to chase those external things first. You know, the job title, the relationship status, the money in the bank.
Yeah, the stuff.
So that having those things will finally let us feel, I don't know, secure or loved or abundant.
And that's putting the cart before the horse, as they say. The whole foundation here is reversed.
How so?
Well, you don't need to chase reality to change how you feel. It's the other way around. You change how you feel.
Yeah.
And that changes your reality. Manifestation isn't really this transactional thing where you collect achievements to finally earn the feeling of abundance. It's the internal state itself, already feeling loved, already feeling secure, abundant. That's what acts like a magnet, drawing the matching reality to you.
So it's less about doing manifestation.
And more about embodying it, becoming it. That's the essence.
I like that focus. Embodiment. It shifts things from just frantic action to, well, internal mastery. So if we're shifting from doing to becoming, let's define that pivot point. What exactly is this state of being?
Okay. The material defines the state of being as fundamentally your internal condition, your overall inner state.
Okay.
And it's generated by the dynamic alignment or maybe misalignment of your consistent thoughts and your habitual emotions.
So my thoughts and feelings combined create my state.
Pretty much. It's your conscious awareness of what's going on inside you right now in this present moment. It's the lens you view everything through.
And for listeners who've been following the whole Mystical Abundance series, this connects back, doesn't it, to that trinity, subject, object, state.
It does, yeah. It builds right on that foundation.
Could we maybe just quickly recap those just for clarity?
Sure, absolutely. Think of it simply like this. The subject, that's you. The conscious observer, pure awareness, just watching.
Okay, me watching.
The object, that's everything else, everything you observe, your thoughts, your circumstances, people, opportunities, challenges, what you're looking at. And the state, that the condition or the behavior of that object as you observe it, it's your internal reaction, your emotional and mental response to the object.
Okay, so if the object is, say, a big challenge at work.
Right.
And my internal state when observing it is calm confidence, then my state of being is confidence in that moment, regardless of how objectively hard the challenge might seem.
You've got it. That alignment or lack thereof between those three in the present moment is your state of being.
And that's the mechanism. That's how it works for creation.
That's the idea. That state of being functions as the core mechanism. It works according to the law of belief.
The law of belief.
Yeah, the insight here is really quite profound. Whatever you consistently impress upon your subconscious mind,
Okay.
through those aligned thoughts and feelings, that consistent inner signal is the cause that has to manifest in your outer world. That becomes the effect.
But wait, here's the tricky part, isn't it?
Yeah.
If I'm looking at, say, a pile of debt, that's my external reality, my object, how do I genuinely impress a state of financial security onto my subconscious without feeling like I'm just, lying to myself? How do you get past that reality check?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Yeah.
That's the tension. The key piece here is understanding how the subconscious works. It's described as this loyal companion, but it's completely non-judgmental.
Non-judgmental.
It doesn't check your bank balance. It doesn't look at your relationship status to verify what you're telling it. It just accepts whatever impression you consistently feed it.
So if I'm constantly feeling worried about the debt, even while saying affirmations about abundance,
Then you are consistently impressing a state of worry. The subconscious takes that as the directive. It assumes, worry must be the required reality. And it'll actually work to manifest more circumstances that justify that internal state of worry.
Wow. Okay, so it's reflecting the feeling, the frequency, not necessarily the words I'm using.
Exactly. The feeling is the prayer, essentially.
That clarity is huge. And it leads us right into the mechanics of the sort of physics of it all, the energetic blueprint idea.
Right.
If our state of being is this internal condition, it has to be sending out some kind of signal, right? Something tangible.
It is. It's described as your energetic blueprint. And this blueprint is generated when you achieve coherence, like a synchronous alignment between your brain, your heart, your mind, your body, and even your nervous system. When those five are humming together, aligned, you generate a clear, powerful signal that the quantum field, the universe, whatever term you prefer, can actually respond to.
And the material breaks this signal down. It talks about a dynamic duo, electrical and magnetic components.
It does. Let's start with the electrical part.
Okay.
Thoughts. Your thoughts are the electrical charge. They're like the language of the brain. They transmit your clear intentions, your focus, as electrical signals out into the field.
So the thought is the what? The intention.
Right. Exactly. And then you have the feelings.
Which are the magnetic resonance.
Right. Feelings are the language of the body. They create the magnetic field. That's the energy that draws your intended reality into your experience.
So feelings are the fuel, the attractive force.
They're the energy, the juice, the magnetic pull. They determine the strength of the broadcast signal.
Okay, so let me see if I get this. Let's say I spend an hour meticulously scripting my dream life. That's a big electrical charge, a clear intention.
Strong signal from the brain.
But while I'm doing it, internally I'm feeling kind of desperate or anxious or small. That's a weak or maybe even contradictory magnetic resonance from the body.
Exactly. And what signal are you actually broadcasting then?
Probably a garbled one, like static.
You're broadcasting an incoherent signal. It's fuzzy. It lacks power. The material really hammers this point home when thoughts and feelings are coherent, when the brain and the heart are aligned, telling the same story.
Yeah.
That's when you generate a powerful, clear electromagnetic signature. And the universe, it doesn't respond to your wish list. It doesn't respond to what you say you want.
Your response.
To who you are being energetically. That internal coherence or lack thereof. Incoherence basically cancels out even the best intentions.
That really grounds the whole vibrational frequency concept, doesn't it?
It does.
Coherence means high vibration feelings like gratitude, love, joy, because your inner world is aligned. Incoherence thinking success but feeling despair that broadcasts a low vibration, a frequency of lack.
Precisely. So when you consciously, deliberately change this inner state of being, you are literally altering your electromagnetic blueprint. You're broadcasting a new, clear frequency.
And the outer world.
The outer world has to respond in resonance. The physics of it demands a match.
Okay, this is powerful stuff. But it leads us to what feels like the hardest part, the most crucial part maybe, embodying this new reality, the becoming phase.
Right.
It's one thing to conjure up a feeling for, say, 5 minutes in meditation. But how do you sustain that elevated state throughout the day?
Sustaining it. Yeah, that's the practice. It requires conscious awareness, deliberate intention, and really the consistent practice of cultivating those elevated emotions, the ones that match the future you want.
So you have to live as that future self now, not just visit the idea.
You embody it. You make it your default state, not just a temporary feeling you generate now and then.
And the big reason that's so challenging, it's because our bodies are often stuck in the past, right? We've talked before about how stress and trauma get stored physically.
It's absolutely critical to understand the biology behind that, why it's so hard. The act of embodying a new state is so potent because it directly interrupts the old conditioning. It cuts off those stress feedback loops.
Explain that loop.
Well, for potentially years, maybe decades, your body and mind have been conditioned to react to certain external triggers, maybe a bill arriving or a specific person, by flooding your system with survival hormones, cortisol, adrenaline.
Fight or flight stuff.
Exactly. And your body can literally become biologically addicted to the chemistry of stress. That state of fear or lack or anxiety, it starts to feel normal. It becomes the baseline.
So we're not just breaking a mental habit. We're actually trying to break a physiological addiction to old, familiar, often negative emotions.
You absolutely are. That's why it can feel so uncomfortable at first. But when you consciously choose those elevated emotional states, feeling inspired, excited, grateful, peaceful, you are literally shifting your entire system, moving it from that state of stress and survival into a state of peace and creation.
That's a physiological shift.
It is. You stop just reacting to the outside world with that old survival chemistry. Instead, you start intentionally creating an internal chemistry, one that matches your desired future.
I love framing it that way. Shifting from those limited survival emotions like apathy or feeling discouraged or lack to those expansive, elevated states. It's a real transformation of your internal environment.
You really can't create effectively or sustainably from a place of chronic stress. It just doesn't work long term.
No.
And that shift, that is the reclamation of your creative power. That's what mastery of your state of being really means.
How so?
You shift your awareness away from the reactive outer world, where you're just constantly putting out fires and responding to problems, and onto the intentional inner world, where you consciously choose your frequency, your state of being.
And when you really lock into that internal alignment, when the thoughts, the feelings, the actions all start to line up, becoming that single, powerful, coherent signal.
That's when the external world has no choice but to rearrange itself, to reflect that inner reality.
It just perfectly demonstrates that core principle, doesn't it? Your outer world must reflect your inner world.
The consistent state of being you embody becomes the cause, the unstoppable cause. And the circumstances you experience, those are just the inevitable effects.
So manifestation, then, it really isn't about pushing harder or finding more techniques.
Not primarily. It's about aligning more deeply within yourself.
It's a profound distinction. Manifestation as embodiment. It's truly about being the person who already has what you desire, isn't it? Not endlessly struggling with techniques to try and get it.
Exactly. And think about this. If your brain and body right now are conditioned, maybe deeply conditioned, to react with stress as a default, like a survival mechanism, then you're constantly broadcasting a state that signals potential threat or lack or difficulty. So here's maybe a final thought for you to really sit with, to contemplate.
Okay.
What small, sustained shift in your internal state of being? I'm not talking about a massive overnight change, just a tiny bit more gratitude consistently, or a touch more ease felt daily. What could that small, sustained shift do to completely rewire your default reaction pattern? How could that change your entire frequency signature over time?
Wow. Just that slight adjustment.
Yeah.
Like recalibrating your internal operating system.
Yeah.
It could potentially cause a huge shift in your external experience down the line.
It could change everything. So if you're ready to really explore this whole framework, the series that outlines the shift from doing to becoming,
Where should people go?
you can find all the articles, dive deeper into these concepts by visiting mysticalabundance.blogspot.com.
mysticalabundance.blogspot.com. And you can also find the content on social media, right?
That's right. Search for @mysticalabundance1111.
Perfect. So definitely check that out. And of course, if this resonated, please do like, comment, subscribe to wherever you're listening. Spread the word. Share this deep dive with any friends who you think are ready to maybe step off that treadmill of endless techniques and really focus on becoming.